Prison is often viewed as a dark place that criminals go and are stripped of all their morals and values that they once held in the outside world. Agreed, prison is a cold, dark place, but contrary to popular belief, one could prove there are morals and a value system inside prison. Through stories told by prisoners, rules and regulations created and set by prisoners, and what they have learned by spending time inside. Inside prison, fights can break out at a moment's notice. Prisoners use violence to create a hierarchy amongst themselves as well as create and control order. Two major indications that redemptive violence exists in prison culture is hierarchy of crime as an operative enabler of violence, which means the higher the crime that you committed to land you in jail, you're going to have more respect and you're going to be the one calling the shots. And also the partitioning of society along rigid boundaries of race, religion, and culture. This is where and how most prison gangs are created and decided, based off of your race and what you believe in. Redemptive violence is without a doubt a negative action. It proves that good or bad, prisoners follow a moral and value system. They value others' inputs on who to attack or what gang to join. Also, they create a rule system in prison that must be learned to survive. They need to learn to respect these rules or pay the consequences. One quote I came across was from a guy who was actually in jail for a period of time. He said, "I offer no ready solution that identifying the problematic structure of redemptive violence and the way in which it communicates violence will be the first step in the arduous journey in transforming attitudes, values, and beliefs among the incarcerated." Prisoners believe that they possess more pro-social characteristics than people outside of the prison walls. When I say pro-social characteristics, I'm talking about kindness, self-control, and generosity. A study was done in England where they gave a group of prisoners a questionnaire to rate themselves in comparison to citizens in 9 traits, which were kindness to others, morality, trustworthiness, honesty, dependability, compassion, generosity, the ability to abide by the law, and self-control. I found this very surprising. They actually rated themselves superior to the average community member on all of the traits, with one exception. The prisoners considered themselves as law-abiding to the average community member. While these people are behind these prison walls, we tend to forget that the fact that even though these people have committed crimes and ended up behind bars, they are still just like the rest of us. I came across an article by the writer Bob Welch, who got to meet with some prisoners at the Oregon State Penitentiary one day and to hold a writing workshop for the prisoners. He mentioned that right away all the prisoners are noticed that all the prisoners are talking and not hesitant or reluctant to talk to him. One prisoner even walked in and shouted out, "I want to learn how to write a letter to the parole board. I got one chance. I need to make it good." All these prisoners that showed up to the workshop want to learn how to effectively write so they can better themselves while inside prison. This shows that they still wanted to educate themselves and better themselves even though they were stuck behind prison bars. Even though these prisoners were stripped of their freedom, many still hold strong values. Welch, when he was leaving, asked the host from the prison what he's learned from these prisoners while doing his time working there. And he responded by saying that if you interact with them as humans, if you treat them with respect, you'll get that back. They're more than the last bad thing they did, which shows they made a mistake that landed them in prison, but they're more than just that one last bad mistake that they made. Prison is not a place where you want to end up. But with that being said, at the end of the day, prisoners are human beings just like us. Getting convicted of a crime and receiving jail time doesn't strip you of your freedom and other constitutional rights, but that doesn't mean you can hold on to the good things you learned outside of prison. People living in a prison society still hold on to all these morals and values that they once learned. They may be different from morals from the outside world, but the thought of them is still present in their minds. So it may not be the morals that me and you follow or the average person follows, but what little they can keep in jail with straight-mindedness takes them a long